Obviously, the whole idea is to generate a lot of buzz. How you doing, Wendy? You doing okay?
I'm good. Trying to do technology, that's not my thing.
And we didn't talk prior to doing this. I mean, we did a little bit, but I'm like, I got this all set up with all my speaking parts, and I don't have any for you, Wendy. And then by the time you get set up, I might be done. So that'll give you some time. There'll be some time for questions too. So again, jump on social media. I shouldn't say that. Get the word out to people you know, because you've got an open house coming. You just want to create a lot of buzz around it, right? How am I doing so far? On pace? Good?
Yeah.
Good stuff? Thursday. Wendy, we're at Thursday.
Okay.
The open house is at Friday, I'm just saying.
Oh gosh, I missed the whole week. I'm so sorry.
All right. Who's working in the CRM? Don't be shy. Okay, a couple of people getting there.
this month.
Got 2 people in it, yeah, good, awesome. That's a start.
Better than some of us.
I know.
I have a question on the CRM because
Yeah,
I've started into a few of my tried prospects, which is free through LVR.
yeah,
A daunting task going through every contact in my phone to try to input each one into it. And then another agent at our office said, don't use that one because you cannot export all that information into any other CRM. So then I just didn't do it at all. And then the other day at our office, somebody said that we had a sync on Realty One Group on the OneSuite. I couldn't find it on there, or is it OneSuite?
Our CRM is sync, isn't it?
Well, they actually clarified and said that it's not sync. Sync is where you can pay them to
Right.
get leads.
I went
So
to
it
sync
looks like
and
it's
they
a
wanted
home-built
$250.
CRM.
it's like a white label, Sync
Yeah.
built the platform,
Okay, so it's,
Yes.
OneSuite is our CRM.
correct, free
So,
CRM.
Going in there and looking for sync, which I could not find, I'm not ever gonna find it.
Huh?
No,
Okay, so,
So you're not crazy.
well,
Oh, I
because we
thought
used
it
to
was
have
sync
sync
too.
on there, years ago, we actually had sync, and they said it was free, so I went on and said, hey, great, because all the top agents in the Summerlin office were going, yeah, use this. And I went on there to use it, and they wanted $250, and I said, well, they
Yeah.
said it was free.
yeah,
And again, so then now I'm done with CRM all over again, so now I need to know where to go. I guess we use OneSuite.
well, you can, and it's free, and in my years of CRMs, like, I've probably gone through 20, and you're never gonna find the perfect CRM. You're always gonna find something on this CRM that has this component, it's like, I love you. But this one over here has this, and I really like that, and it's really hard to find all of the right components. There's no perfect CRM, I guess is my point. You know, as the old adage goes, perfect CRM is one that you will
Use.
Okay. But I do have other suggestions for you, like Lion Desk is pretty good. It has a lot of components in it, a dialer, print capability, texting capability. But on the other hand, I do like the OneSuite integration, that it just kind of brings a lot of stuff in nicely. So that's pretty cool too. So free is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually looked at it again last night. Some of the things I did notice though on our OneSuite is, I was just looking at the drip email campaigns.
Campaigns.
Yeah.
So I was looking at those and just clicking on the letters that it sends out. And I don't know if you can adjust those or modify them at all.
Yeah. You
But
can.
some of them just don't feel authentic. But then I found in one specifically the buyer, prospecting for a buyer or whatnot, or a buyer that has just recently purchased. So the first or second letter that goes out was about managing your electric bills or your household. And they have still in there to use to replace all your bulbs with CFL bulbs. So those are long gone now, and I think that should be LED, but I think someone from our company needs to go in there and maybe
Yeah.
take a look and update some of that information.
So is that the challenge, why people don't use CRMs? Because it's a daunting process, my data is.
There's so many things in there.
So many things that it's like,
insane.
yeah, fair statement? Okay.
Well, as a new agent, I come from the software world, so I've been kind of digging around and I was comparing prospects to ours, and I'm with you. it's nice that every other solution that we get to get leads automatically leads into that.
Yeah.
Whereas if we went with prospects, we would have to take code, put it onto our website, and it's like, that's way above what I want to do.
So
I just
when
wanna
you say
plug
one
and play.
suite is better then,
Right.
than prospect.
Yeah,
Does
and
anybody
it's
use
free,
the
I
Elmore
guess,
one?
I guess for initially starting
That's
out,
the prospects.
why not?
Oh, that's the prospect?
That's the
Yeah, from-
LVR.
from
yeah.
LVR.
I started into that
So
one,
now
but it
it's
was
no
so
good.
daunting, I just quit.
And there's not a mobile app, so
Okay.
that is also another thing that's a hindrance to me.
So OneSuite doesn't have a mobile app.
Once we
No,
does,
once we has
prospects
one.
does
Got
not.
it, got it, got it.
That's good.
Yeah.
There was actually, Justin did I think you were there, you were there.
Mhm.
Justin did just a little bit on CRM and drip campaigns, and then there was an agent that I worked with, he came up to me after it, he's like, Tim, I got like 55 leads in here that I didn't know I had, because he just hadn't had that exposure. So I know there's some links on onerockstars.com that you can click on, and I can send to you to kind of get you started with the OneSuite, just to kind of go through it at your leisure. But where I was going with all of this is, how do you know who your best fit buyers are for said product, like a one-story with a pool in the Northwest? How do you know?
That's
Like-
a good question.
So as you're doing open houses, if you can collect information about that individual, what they like, what they don't like, what area, and you can kind of get that into notes, and then you can get that into your CRM, and then as you come across more people like that, then you get a perfect property in that area, you can jet that out to your best fit buyers for that said property. So something to think about, always happy to help with CRM. Just on a different note, the Lion Desk, they have where everybody across the United States can put in their drip campaigns, and you can view them and you can download them. So it's like open house, what does that look like? How do you send a text right after you put it in to the database? Probably, hey, thanks for stopping by my property or my open house. Here's my contact information if you have any questions on real estate. Here's my contact information. Then 2 days later, you send out an email. Instead of recreating that wheel, they're already done.
What
So,
program does that?
that one's Lion Desk,
Line Desk?
yeah. But I don't know if that supersedes what OneSuite has in the integration.
Oh.
I'm still leaning
So
towards
you would use the
OneSuite.
one suite after the open house and take all that contact info that you gathered and put it in there and then immediately start a drip campaign?
You could do a 14 free trial at Lion Desk just to look at the campaigns, I guess, and like, okay, this is kind of the flow. And it's just not one cookie cutter campaign, it's several different agents that have created campaigns. And then,
Well,
Go ahead.
aren't they just templates and you can put whatever the hell template you want in there, can't you? Or is that not true?
yeah, they're templates, but then there's the timing of it, right?
Okay.
Like, you send a text message as soon as you put it into the CRM and you tag it as a open house lead, then a text message goes out, but then, is it 1 day or 2 days? Do you want the
The
next,
follow-up.
yeah, the
and-
follow-up, and what does that say? Yes, it can be a template, but is it email, is it text message,
Yeah.
is it video?
That's how the one suite's set up.
Yeah,
Depending on which ladder you pick for the
Yeah.
drip campaign, some of them were 5-day, 10-day, 15-day, 20-day, 30-day. And some of them were different, some of them were like at 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. Just depends on which one you picked.
yeah, but definitely good to be, starting to think about a CRM, free or not. And there's somebody that's pretty techie, me, another guy that's pretty techie that I know right here, software, so we're always willing to help out and get you going. Plus all the tremendous amount of information that's on Rock University or onerockstars.com, right? Research, be knowledgeable, and print neighborhood statistics and market updates. Who uses or who knows list reports?
It's the go-to.
Wow,
I
really?
mean, I
What?
get it on my phone and look
Okay.
at it, but I
Yeah.
haven't used it.
So,
Wow.
on a piece of paper, I'll hand it out, I'll pass it around. Write down your name if you are not registered for list reports. And it's a phenomenal program, it's a great platform. What it does is we sponsor it for you. You can get a sponsor like with a lender, you guys split the cost, but we take care of that for you. But what happens as soon as you get a listing and you put it into the MLS, and you put the verbiage in there and you upload all the pictures, list reports will communicate on the back end, and they'll communicate together, and list reports will generate somewhere around 25 different marketing pieces.
In like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
10
as
minutes.
soon as you hit
Right.
submit,
Wow.
all of a sudden you get this email
Yeah.
that's like, your list report's
Right.
ready.
Is it just
Open house
listreports.com?
flyers
'Cause
just
I
listed,
have the
just under
login on there,
contract,
but
everything.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, that'll get you there, and then I think it's open highway something. But if you're getting emails from them, then you're in the system.
yeah.
We just gotta get you logged in and then familiarized with the different components of
Got
it.
it.
But in addition to like an open house flyer, they have infographics, like how far the nearest park is from said property, the schools from said property. That's
The
huge.
grading of the neighborhood and the factors of shopping and everything. And they even create a video, a little website.
Website, yep. It's a
Yeah.
one URL website to that property, so all the pictures and all the verbiage that you put in the MLS shows up on the website, and then you can promote that link or URL.
And to back up what you just said, Tim, one of my other bankers that I do use, she says, oh, I need to hook you up with list reports and I'll pay half of it, you can pay the other half. I said, oh, there's a fee? She says, oh yeah, and I'm gonna pay half of it. I said, well, no, I already get it for free. She's like, free? This is something you gotta pay for. I said, not where I'm at. So, yes, there
Yeah.
are other people out there charging for it.
And if you are receiving information, I know that each rep had, all of the reps had different accounts, right? So you could have been set up through a different rep, but we've since consolidated that down to our customer service one account, right? So if you're receiving or you're not seeing the information, or you can't go in and edit the marketing kit or those flyers, shoot me a text and we'll get you back in line or back on track with that.
Tim, it's asking, when I log in, it asks me to attach a lender to it for additional, is that
Yes.
just a co-brand? Is that
Yes.
additional
So-
co-brand?
Just reach out to me, saying, hey, can you transfer me over?
Mine actually has Anthony on it.
Have you been in lately?
Well, I'm trying to get in right now, but he's not allowing me.
Yeah,
to.
so that's the situation, both of you.
No,
I don't know, I think I
like-
probably set you up,
You did.
and then Anthony set you up, Sean, and then.
Right.
But I
Then
don't.
both of our accounts went away, but we have our customer service account that you should roll up under. So,
Do we
not
still
exactly
need
a smooth
lender though on there?
transaction.
Do we need a lender on there though? I can
You don't
still
need a
do
lender.
all the marketing stuff.
Yeah, you don't need a
So,
lender.
Okay.
You just need us to sponsor it. Because I don't know if you can go in and edit your forms or the
Yeah,
flyers.
I just used
You
it last
can?
weekend, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But if
Wow.
it's not set up right, I'll send you an email.
Yeah, we better
See
talk
if
to
you
those
get it.
people who set them up. That Tim guy, and that damn Anthony guy.
Anthony.
So it's not an app, it's just like where you just go to list reports, I mean, I have it, but.
You have it?
Yeah, is it an app that you can also?
I
put on
don't
your
think
phone?
they have an app.
It's not an app, it's
I mean,
just
you
like
can
you just
access
go-
it via the web
Yeah.
portal.
Yeah, that's, okay,
But,
okay,
but it's super cool.
yeah.
I love it. Who door knocks prior to an open house?
Yeah.
Carrie said no. Hell no, pardon my
I'm
language.
working on it, I haven't gotten there yet.
2 12-pound dogs for you.
So,
I get it, no, I get it, seriously.
I saw a knock on the door the other day, it was a young man, I looked through the peephole. I'm like, can't really tell, does he have a weapon? I mean, your brain's just like so
Yeah.
many things going through, I am not gated, so it's like
No, I hear you.
solicitor, so I'm thinking solar, but they said it was political, it was fine.
Yeah.
And he was just a cute little guy, you know, and I talked to him for 2 minutes but I was so uncomfortable opening that door.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, I can't be the only one. So
No, you're not at all.
Just imagine.
Not at all, not at all.
Yeah.
So I hate to always take the limelight, but damn, I'm gonna.
You're
I was
fine.
out walking and knocking with 2 girls, and we were doing an open house, and I noticed every damn door I went to has a Ring video doorbell. So I took the time to make a short message on every one. Hi, I'm Sean, I'm your local realtor, I'm doing an open house with your neighbor, I'm gonna fold this up, put it right in the slot, and I hope to see you guys there, bye. And I just went to the next one.
Yeah.
And so when I got back with the two girls, I says, did you leave messages? They were like, oh God, no. And I was like, oh, it was a perfect opportunity to put your little commercial on. And I said, and you know they're watching it, they're at their office and shit saying, who's at my door? And then there's me, hi, you know, and it's like, hey. And,
But do you have a leave behind?
well, I had my flyer.
You leave it?
Yeah, and I fold it up and I stick it right in the damn door. And
Okay.
yeah,
We
absolutely.
kinda did something similar, but not as detailed, where we would say, thank you, happy holidays, you know, and we left our door hanging or things, but.
Yeah, no, I get it. You definitely gotta be careful and always buddy up with somebody if you can.
So I do wanna say something, like, if you're gonna be door knocking, maybe get a Realty One t-shirt, or a shirt that says, I'm a Realtor, you know, so then that way, when they're looking through the people or at their camera, they're like, oh, they're a Realtor, you know, because you see next door, did anybody see the guy with the blue hat kinda knocking on the door, you know?
God.
Like, so if you just say, I'm a Realtor, I walk up, and if there's a camera, I'm like, hi, I'm a Realtor, I just wanted to say hi, you know, are you home? And I knock, and whatever, but again, do something to diffuse the situation, because I am one of those people that will not open my door, and I
And that's
have.
why you got a
Yeah.
video, girl.
And yeah, and I have two 70-pound dogs, and the minute they even hit the driveway, the Ring doorbell's going off, the dogs are barking, I can't even hear them when they're talking to me. So I'm yelling out the door, just leave it, whatever you got, leave it, you know? But again, there are some people that do
Yes.
open their door, and those are the ones that you wanna catch, but wear something that says Realty One,
That's
or
a
a
good
idea, or something like that.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Not a little button, like something
Yeah.
big, you
Yeah.
know, like
I
a
always wear
Realtor, carry a
my-
sign, wear it on your hat, Realty One, whatever, so they know.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great
that's a
idea.
good idea.
Yeah,
So I live
both
in a
good
community of
ideas.
like 80 houses, right? And I know there's 3 other agents in there and then another title rep. And the lady next door is, directly next door is a real estate agent. Anyway, there's an open house like 3 houses down, but I didn't receive nobody knocked on my door. I didn't get anything in the mailbox. Like the only way I knew about it is I was actually leaving, you know, my community, and I'm like, oh, they have a sign. So, how effective was their open house? I don't know, because I didn't receive anything, I didn't hear anything. So I didn't even know how many signs they had up.
On this note, Tim, like I plan on going and knocking the neighborhood Friday.
Okay, yeah,
Is that too late? Should I have given people more notice?
well,
Should I have done it Wednesday, today, instead of?
no, between Thursday and Saturday, Sunday. Do you do it in the morning as far as like before the open house, the day of? When you guys do them? Or when you door knock? Nobody door knocks. Okay.
I have done them before.
I
on the
Just
same
before the open
morning.
house?
Yeah, because I got there early and I figured,
Yeah.
well, why not knock a few? But I haven't made it a practice
Okay.
of doing it.
Okay, just food for thought, so to speak.
We
And
have
I-
stuff at their door, and
Hmm?
someone came out and gave us a giant lemon. That was, that was our.
Like threw it at you or?
No.
You've never
Okay.
seen anything like
It's like a
that.
cantaloupe.
So I
It
don't
was
think
a
we made
lemon.
any friends that day.
Oh,
Just frustrating.
Well,
He thought it was a delivery.
He thought we were
And then he
fine.
was yucky, but he was, yeah, but it was nice.
Yeah.
and you hear that she has two dogs that are like 70 pounds each. I think they trump my 12-pounders, so. Depends on how comfortable you feel. All right, as for Sam's tip, provide information about local schools. This reports will help with that. Market data, distinctive features regarding the neighborhood. The more visuals and graphs and pictures, the better. Why? Because you want them to linger and look at stuff so you can interact with them, find out what they're looking for, and get information, so on and so forth. List reports. All right, the day of. So obviously, it goes without saying, I guess, make sure that the house is spotless to a certain extent. Make it an enjoyable experience with food, drinks, and activities. Who does, when you do an open house, do you digital or do you do sign-in paper?
Sign in paper.
Okay.
So,
Definitely do digital.
I'm looking at your thing right there.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the digital, you're more likely to get incorrect?
Potentially,
If you were
that's
on
what
the
this,
sheet-
that's what this group of, this agents of 24 in California found, that when they did digital, they found people were more apt to give erroneous information just because it was easier, I guess. So if you do a sign-in sheet, fill out the first line neatly. So kind of like psychologically, oh, somebody signed in, nice handwriting, I should try and make mine nice and neat. I can't even do that. But I do like the digital part of it to a certain extent, but then I don't know, do people automatically think they're going to get thrown into a database? I don't know, maybe. But I definitely like the, and I like the digital too sometimes, because you can connect it on the back end of your CRM. That goes right into your CRM. So anyway,
And
take,
then you can set it up like with Spacio, so that
Yes.
emails will automatically go out to them.
Yes.
One less thing you have to do that day.
and I think that also verifies their email. Like they get a big red sign or something that says, pass one of these around. I'm going to keep one. Thank you. Here's a version I put together that gets a little more information than just the sign-in sheet. So full name, mobile number, email, how did you hear about the open house? So you're collecting information on how maybe your marketing went, right? Do you have a property to sell, yes or no? What is your time frame for purchasing a new home? Are you currently working with a real estate agent? Have you been pre-approved for a purchase of a home, yes or no? Would you like a free competitive market analysis on your home, yes or no? Property address. I don't know if people take the time to fill that out, but it's a one-pager, and it's great information if they do take the time to fill it out. So, and I can put these together for you, as I did this in Canva. Didn't take me very long. But don't do it on a Thursday. Don't call me on a Thursday. I'm trying to do it on a Friday at 10 o'clock,
Call you on a
because you're going to get my dog reaction.
Yes.
So definitely that. So how many signs do you typically put out?
We
Well,
only do
12?
5, 10.
Well, depending on the area, because there might be restrictions.
No, our office.
Yeah. Does anybody know Mary Perry?
yes.
Of course you do. Funny story, real quick. I went to the office, and she was like bringing out the open house signs. And being the gentleman that I am, I'm like, can I help you? She's like, yeah, of course. And she's like, they're right in there. You can go through my office, just right in the other office. Just bring them all out or grab some. Next thing I know, Mary's on the phone. I'm like, that's not going to be a short conversation. Those things are freaking heavy. Like, I was like busting a sweat. I was like 5 trips. I was definitely out of shape. I'm like, I'll work out for my son. Give me some tips on that. Do they have vendors that will put out signs?
Yes.
Is it worth the money? Is it expensive? I don't know.
From what I've heard, there's one that does it for like $100. I don't know. if
That
that's-
puts them up and takes them down.
Mhm. And they hold on to them for you.
Your open house site?
I heard this from another company that I was interviewing for, another brokerage.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Me
I
personally,
just took we just did an open house class at ROC 1 in Summerlin. And they said that our office will let you use 5 open house signs.
Yeah.
They originally told me.
So if you need to do 10 or 15, whatever, I guess you need to buy.
Then you got to buy them.
You gotta buy 10 or 15, because they were saying put out, 15 to 20 signs.
So what I'm making a suggestion, so any
Sure.
of you that
Just
don't
getting
know me, I'm a
started.
sales manager at the Summerlin office, so hi everyone. But, I suggest reserving your signs at the beginning of the week, because we'll reserve 4 or 5. And then come Friday, late afternoon, because there's a lot of agents that will reserve them, this house is sold, they've decided not to do it, they don't take their name off the list, and they're just sitting there, and if they haven't picked them up, we close at 5, so after 5 o'clock on Friday, nobody can get the signs. So if you guys are there right before we close and nobody's picked them up, just ask for more signs.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then like you two do them separately, I mean, you do them together, you get 5, you get 5. Put your name down, don't say that I told you. But that
There
is
you
for
go.
the tip, just saying, because again, when I used to do the open houses, I had 10 of my own signs, and then I would try, because again, you weren't trying to grab people from far away. Sometimes it takes you 5 or 6 signs just in the subdivision, and then you don't get anybody on the main streets. So it is an investment that is huge. Even if you're not even doing an open house, you're doing something for the day at one of your listings, put a sign out there, like you use the sign for multiple things. If you're gonna do like a craft fair or something, you can always keep your signs somewhere, they're not always just used for open houses, so my suggestion is, it's a great investment to have, so I would pick some of those up. I know they're costly, but
Well, when
it's
you
worth it.
borrow a sign, it's got someone else's phone number on it.
Or it's got just the generic Realty One, you always wanna brand it to yourself, that's my suggestion.
Oh, they have a generic without a phone number?
Some of them are Tim's old ones that he just put in there, and then the other ones are just Realty One, and probably the office phone number, I'm not even quite sure, but, yeah.
I used Tim's before and thought, I'll be damned, as I was setting them out, putting them up, I was looking at this picture. Yeah, that's gotta be mine, damn it, that's gotta be mine.
All right, let's see here.
Sitting through that open house, I ordered a dozen of them that day.
When my music died,
The day.
but I had played music for this as people were coming in.
Bye.
But do you have music at your open house? A nice playlist?
No.
Like I like gangster rap, but well, I kind of do. But, anyway, just an idea, and then also again, just the more graphs and more information that you can put out there, just like the community and the neighborhoods. Here's another secret sauce thing that I have for you guys. So actually, I think this was through Breakthrough Broker. Take one passing around, please. And usually it's printed landscape-wise. I didn't have time to change this around. But here's the secret sauce.
Wow.
So go to Dollar Tree, whatever, and spend $1.05 or whatever it is. Now it's not $1 anymore. Get some clipboards. And then very creatively, you could do like a QR code, brand yourself. Always be branding you. This on the clipboard. Have a pen with your name and contact information. And then do your homework of other open houses that are in the area. Put the address. There's three other slots. Put the address here for them. And then when you have somebody that's like you vibe with, and they're like, yeah, I'm definitely looking. Well, here, take this. Here's 3 other open houses in the immediate area. And this sheet will allow you to, not only on this property, but on the other properties, kind of rate the property, right? So has the address. I can't even read this. It's so darn small. But first impression, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Living room, neighborhood, kitchen. So this is good feedback if you can kind of get this information on your own open house to give to the homeowner. Like hear what people are saying about the 15 different colors of Lowe's paint on. You have like every room is painted differently, different color. But kind of a nice takeaway for them because it has contact information on it. So they'll appreciate the other open houses. And then you can follow up with them and say, hey, were you able to attend the other ones? What did you think? How does it compare to mine? So on and so forth.
So to get this data, are you just pulling this from the MLS? Like the addresses of the other properties?
Yes, you can look at other open houses, right, in the immediate area. I don't have access to MLS, but I'm assuming that would be the easiest way.
You just pull up the subdivision, and if the agent has marked in there that they're doing an open house, you can see the little door that's open, and that's how you kind of keep track of it. But you'd have to do that research.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I guess follow-up strategy, also pretty crucial, right? Is, and this kind of goes back to maybe I should start to think about a CRM or some methodology that you can very easily categorize your people that came in, immediate sellers, long-term prospects, get them into your CRM. When you're talking with them, what did they like about the house? Things that they may have shared with you. We can't stay and talk because my son has a soccer game at X time. Oh, they like soccer. No, so on and so forth. So just another way to categorize people within your database, whatever that looks like. There we go. ahead of myself, take notes. Personalize the follow-up. Send a text from your phone thanking them for showing up. That way they have your phone number, contact information. I love video. Video's king.
This
Get
would
one
be
of
good
those.
for that Blink app, you guys. If you did Blink, and when they do the little teleprompter, hey guys, thanks for stopping into my open house today. I know you blah, 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 whatever you want, and then you can just send it off to them. You can post it on your social media, or just text it to them that way. It's a quick
Yeah.
30-second text for them. I like that, might be good.
And I also like kind of doing like a library of generic videos. So, hey, thanks for stopping by my open house. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions about real estate, please reach out. You can kind of like one and done and just use that repeatedly over different open houses, so on and so forth. So, hey, thanks for stopping by my website. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you in person or on the phone. And again, another generic video. You said Blink, is it like a teleprompter?
Yes,
Right.
it takes a video, but you type in what you want it to say, and
Yep.
it teleprompts so you can read it as
Yep.
you're filming it.
Yeah.
My new favorite app.
There's another one, it's called Big View. Big View.
Big View?
VU. Big VU. Big View. Same concept.
Yeah.
Yep. And then definitely captions. If you want to put captions on your videos, the captions program. That's one of my faves. All right. Yeah, definitely follow up as soon as you can with those leads. But wait, there's more. Do I have more? What's going down here?
Get the dog.
What's hot? Who attended the automated social media presentation that I did? Micah,
so.
Stephen,
Was that the
you
few
were
weeks
there,
ago?
or did you run out?
Yeah, I had to go, I
Did you
think.
go? You missed it?
I missed it.
Did you really? I thought
Yeah.
you were there for the whole thing. I thought for sure you would sign up. Anyway, real quick. Every time I talk about this program, I get chill bumps. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
Have you made an appointment yet?
Yeah, the chill
I
one.
have it tomorrow.
Okay, will you kindly get back to me, just let me know?
I meet with you the next day, so perfect.
Okay, perfect. Love it, you are, thank you.
That's my dad.
But, so again, I've been in and around tech since the 90s. I actually remember trying to get a contract at a hospital to sell them a database where they didn't have laptops. I brought my big screen, like 24-inch screen, my big CPU into this to do the sales pitch. But anyway, not too many programs have really caught my attention since then. This one really stands out for me. And what it allows you to do within 5 minutes easily is to review posts that are curated automatically and generated through AI, artificial intelligence. And you just sit down and you look at all these posts and you just pick which ones you like and you schedule it onto the calendar and what platform they're going to go out. Done. You don't have to use ChatGPT. You don't have to use Canva to design it. It's all done for you. And they look like this. So it takes your brand logo, it learns you and how you post, takes your colors, and then it just goes out and it constantly searches the internet, like NAR. Is there an article out there for NAR? Oh, there is. Let me bring this one in. Artificial intelligence creates the post. You sit down and review it. I like it. Post it.
I was there. I was there when
You were?
I was,
Okay.
yes. Thank you for reminding me.
That's okay. That's all right.
So is this another class?
I noticed you nodded off a few times, but I got to work on my presentation. It's a
Is
little more
that
lively.
another class that you're giving?
It's not a class, it's a presentation I did, but if you want to schedule like a quick 30-minute call, 15-minute call, happy to show you
Sure.
more of the presentation, what it's all about. I told Justin that I need this for my business because I too take time to create my own posts. I got to research the topic. What do I want to say? What do I want to convey? Images, too much time.
Cost-wise,
I haven't been on a call, but I know there's 2 tiers, and I think at best, I think the most expensive one is $100 a month. Don't quote me on that, because I wasn't really supposed to talk about price. But I think that's really reasonable when you think about your business. You can write it off, right? But just not to have to worry about social media as much and have it done for you automatically. I think it's worth it, me personally. You
Yeah.
don't have to do the $100, they do the $50.
I'm paying $57 a month. I just started with Copy and Contracts, and they give you all of the content that you can kind of use and real ideas and all this stuff. But it's still a lot of freaking work.
Yeah.
Like, to have something automatically that I just review, like, okay, yes, I like it, that's a godsend for me.
How many are using, is it Keeping Matters Current?
So,
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it.
I'm sure you've seen them. Which colored front door do you like? A, B, or C, or whatever? The problem with that, I mean, it's exposure, but you're gonna see like 3 or 4 of those from other agents in the immediate area. It's like, it's not making you stand out like this will.
this right here, if you did in fact do something like that, it may be posting articles and information, but is it also capturing? Does it capture the lead and put it into my CRM for me if somebody clicks on this stuff right here? Because I have things that actually will do that, and that to me would be most important.
Yeah.
Because I could have 1 million people look at shit, but if I don't know who the heck they were, or what, you know, so my thing is, how do I capture them? And so, does that do that, or do you know that answer?
I don't think it captures it, because what it does is it creates the post for you, and then you determine which platform, it goes to. So
then
you
what
send
you
it to
have to-
LinkedIn and you send it to Instagram.
So my
You should be reviewing those posts for comments.
Well, yeah, true. My question though is sometimes you'll get the post where you'll see, oh, it saw 257 eyes, saw this damn thing.
Yeah.
But what it really doesn't tell me is who the hell were the 257 eyes. So that's the information that I like to know.
For sure. And I would imagine that, so you have the post, and you're gonna post it to Facebook as an example. I would imagine that you could create like a funnel to, like a squeeze page where they click on it, and it takes them to where they would put their information in.
Couldn't you put your QR code on it? And then that would.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Sorry, I can't get it off, sorry.
It's a,
Yes.
Oh, God, can somebody help me get this on? Automated SM? I mean, how do you find it? There we go.
so here's, great question. So if indeed you're
Sorry.
interested in this, text me. I'm in. Text me those words and I will send you the link. And what would happen next is you would actually click on the link, and then you would have basically a free 45-minute call with the founder and his people, of which they will collect information like are you on Instagram, are you on LinkedIn, and they will get that information. And then when it's time for your call, I'm assuming they have already looked at your platforms.
Yeah, they ask you for all of your social media
Okay.
addresses so that they can kind of peruse it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And probably give examples. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to do software demos, so that's what they're probably doing is
Yeah.
mocking stuff up and saying this is what our solution can do.
Yeah. Of that, you'll have that information, the name of the company, and then you just do the call, and then, if you decide it's for you, I think it's always be branding yourself, and if you can take that off your plate where you don't have to create and find articles, I think it's worth it, me personally. I mean, I get nothing from it, no kickbacks or anything like that. I said that's being recorded somewhere. Oh, there it is, hey! I think it just moves me, it's just a great program. And then too, if you get this, you're like, I wish I could put something like my QR code right here. You can go in and edit it before you post it. It's like a Canva editor, so you do have the ability to make it your own. And you can still go do open houses and film them and film the properties and do your own social media, but you just don't have to do as much. Because the problem is we all try to do it ourselves and we fall short because of time constraints, and the consistency of it.
That's the key, the
Yeah.
consistency.
That's all I got. What do you got? Do you have oh, good.
Okay.
I could have brought you in earlier.
That's okay, no, because I wanted to do it at the end, because.
Oh, okay.
Now, so, Mark Otero, our corporate broker, does the open house rev up class, and so it's one of his favorites to do, so he's consistently the one doing it. So every once in a while, I'll pop in there, but I, used to do, so I started real estate probably May will be 20 years for me, and so I did open houses early on, and then I'd sprinkle here and there. But it just wasn't my thing that I did consistently. But when I did do them, and I would watch everything for open houses. There's a guy, I don't know, Josh Smith, I think his name is. You can see him on YouTube and whatever, and he does all these classes. But he is like big into his open houses. And I don't know if have you seen him, Lorraine? No?
What's that?
His name is Josh Smith. So anyway, because back in the day, but he will put up those big like. What are they? Those I don't even know those little.
The
things.
big flags?
Yeah,
Or
well, the
the little
flags.
gear
Those little,
things?
but
Yeah.
yeah, but then he'll put a minimum of 40 signs up. Like he does them really big. And yeah, he probably gets a little bit of heat because he got 15 signs out front the house. But you know, you just know when it's his, people are looking for his open houses. So that's what I've been trying to kind of teach the agents that want to do it. Partner up with your vendors, like your title reps. And your home warranty companies, and see what little trinkets they can give you to pass out at your open houses. And what I like to do is I'll put like 3 things out. One in a back bedroom, one in the master bathroom, and then as they come in, I'll just say, take a tour, and there's little things that you can pick up along the way. Because some people go, oh yeah, see that, okay, yeah, that room. You want them to go all the way to the back corner. When they turn around, they're like, oh my gosh, look at the view out that window. But they would have never seen it if they didn't walk all the way through that room or through the house. So leave little things for them to pick up, and then they're going to start looking for your open houses, right? And then there's the one that always gives something away. We had an agent that had a $2.6 million listing, and we had tons of agents asking, can I do open houses? And I was kind of spearheading that. I'm like, sure, everybody do open the house, whoever they wanted. So I made a list, and one of them says, I'm going to do mimosas and everything bundt cakes. I'm like, holy cow, but he just elevated himself rather than the little packaged cookies, So think about things differently. Again, not all of them warrant mimosas and bundt cakes because those are like $5 a piece, but he knew the clientele coming in, so he was hoping to probably get the sellers in the neighborhood that said, oh my gosh, look how they do the open house. I want to. Again, you're not just marketing that house, and most of the time, if it's not your listing, you're not doing it to sell that house. You're doing it to gain buyers or other listings. So it's how you portray yourself. So back in the day, okay, I have a bag. Actually, I probably have 2 bags of stuff that I would bring to my open houses, and just assume you're going to go there and clean. Just you've got to bring windows. I have squeegees. I've got a long one. There's a pool net that I have, because you just don't know. If they vacated the home, they might have taken all that stuff. And now you're there, and there's just dirt everywhere. There's leaves in the pool. And so I had this family. I was helping another girl do it probably about 5 years ago. It was a vacant home, but they knew, actually in Silverstone Ranch. And so we show up, there's a cute little gate out front. There were leaves everywhere. So we had given them over a week's notice. They knew we were doing it. They didn't come by. They didn't sweep. They didn't do anything. There was bird stuff that they would sit on the top of the roof, and it was just dropping down the windows right by the front door. She had a pool, didn't have a pool net. I was like, oh my gosh. So we're going around, and I'm pushing the water because I didn't bring my net, and she's picking up the leaves. I mean, it was just... but we wanted to show it in the best light because it was like a $700,000 home, but they don't think about it. They're just like, oh, you want to do it? Go ahead. So I always bring cleaner to clean. You want any surface they're going to touch, the countertops, just clean them real quick, wipe them down. Sometimes people are washing their hands as they come through and they splash water on the mirror, so you want your Windex and all of that stuff. I do bring a toilet brush. I do bring the mop, and then, I don't really bring the mop, but I do bring towels, the microfiber towels. But I always have a broom because you never know when you're going to pick it up. Bring trash bags, more than one, because you never know what you have to pick up. And then I'll always put something on the counter, and I'll do something, this one's a little cheap, but depending on, just want to put something nice. Just don't put a couple of bottles of water. And if you are, make your little stickers. You can go get the bottles at Costco or the little ones, and then just pre-print stickers with your branding information on there, right? So then you could put little snacks, you could put your bottles, you could put pens or mouse pads or chapsticks or whatever that you want to do, but sprinkle it around. Don't just put it in one area. And then my favorite things are, I love my folding easels, right? Oh my gosh, these are the best things, because they fold up into nothing. Yeah, right? No, they just, it's
Oh,
a
it's for
folding
s-
easel, yeah.
It's
But
an
I have-
easel.
Yeah, it's an easel.
That's cool.
So what I do is I set up a table, and it depends on if you want to set it up like in the kitchen or the living room, but sometimes you just want to set it up in the garage. And you open the garage and you sit there, you got music playing, it's the environment that they're gonna walk into is gonna how it's gonna set your stage, right? Also, if I'm doing it alone, I will always set it up in the garage. I don't recommend doing open houses alone, unless you, well, just whatever. But if you are, notify the 2 neighbors. Hey, I'm gonna be there. Just letting you know I'm gonna be by myself. Male, female, it doesn't matter. And I'm big on safety. So go in. When you go into your backyard, know which side you need to run to get out that side gate. You think I'm crazy, but I always want you to be prepared. Just know your exits. I leave the front door open, the back door open, and I tell them, like my sellers, just so you know, I'm gonna leave the doors open, just so you might have a little bit higher bill this month, but it's for safety for me. If it's a 2-story home, I let them roam. I don't go upstairs. I'm not putting myself stuck where I have to jump off a balcony or something. I'm not doing it. I tend to do vacant homes. Sometimes if it's your listing, they are gonna require you to do it and they live there, but it becomes a liability, so think about that. If you are gonna do something with somebody that they're still living in the home, make sure they remove any jewelry, any medications, clean out your medicine cabinet. So think about that kind of stuff, because back in the day, we had a ring of families would come in. There was like 6 or 7 of them. They had a baby. The wife would come in with this cute little baby. The husband had this big blanket on his arm, and then they get talking to the agent, and then they're going through the house stealing things. It's your responsibility to watch what's going on in that house. So you could say if they're living there, if they're occupying the home, everybody needs to stay together, and I'll guide you through the home. If you want to do something like that, that's completely up to you. But when I do mine, if I'm going to do it inside, I'll get a chair, and I have a big white table, folding table, and I put like a black tablecloth on it, but like a velvet or something. I do things to the higher end, because even if it's a fixer-upper, guess what? I am branding myself. It's not about the house that I'm trying to sell. So I make it look nice. I get balloons, or when I'm putting my signs out, I love to put like the little pinwheels. You can get them at the dollar store, and then that way you see something. But if not, I'll do a gold, a black, a regular latex balloon, and then I always do some kind of shiny mylar balloon to the attached to the signs. And then I'll get a couple of other bunches, and I'll put them in the driveway. I'll put them at the front door, and then I try to put them next to my table. So then that way when they walk in, it's just balloons, like they're seeing the same thing over and over again. So then when they're driving around, they're like, oh, that's the one with the balloons, or the ones with the little pinwheels. I like going to her open houses. It's just a psychological thing. But also, before we go into the open houses, there's a couple of ways that I would do them if I couldn't get a house sold. Like Calico Ridge down by going towards like Lake Las Vegas. I had a listing in there one time. There were like 6 of us, and we just could not get our listing sold. So I said, let's do like, you know how they do the poker runs? So we made like a little bingo sheet, right? And so we planned an open house all on the same day. And I had to spearhead that, so it's a little bit of a headache, but you can do it if you plan in advance. And they're all different brokerages, so you're not using the same signs or whatever, but again, if they have 5 or 10 signs and you have 5 or 10 signs, think about how far. So you put one of theirs, one of yours, one of theirs, one of theirs. They're all gonna follow the signs, and when they get there, at the entrance of the community, everybody's got one of their signs, and they're like, oh my God, what's going on in that neighborhood? So it just draws them all in, and then the first house that they would go to gives them like a little bingo board, and then if they go to all the houses, they got a stamp, and at the end they were put into a drawing, and it was just a whole big thing. But you had to work with the other agents to do that. That's why I say befriend your agents. You know, they're not always against you, but you gotta have to work together. Yes, we compete for business, but you sometimes really need to lean on your other agents, and it's outside your brokerage as well. But I also say if you have a neighborhood that you've picked and there's multiple houses for sale in there, try to get other Realty One agents to see if they want to do open houses at the same time you are on this on the same neighborhood, and then they get 5 signs, you get 5 signs. Next thing you know, there's 4 or 5 open houses going on. They're all Realty One, signs out there, so it just draws it, right? I like to stay with the black and the gold because that's what people start to remember. We are one of the largest brokerages out here, guys, so use that to your advantage. They're going to start looking for the Realty One open houses, so brand yourself that way. But when you walk in, I set my table up, I've got my tablecloth, I've got music going. I'll usually do one of these stands with some information about myself. You can get a big poster board, put it on there, because these little things flip down and you just set it on there. And then you can do another one of the comps, what's just sold, what's just listed, what's still available, but spread them around so they can go past you and go in there, and they're going to talk over there, and they're going to go over here and read this sign. I do flyers. If there is a a sign with a sign box out front, remove those listing agents' flyers, because all they're going to do is they're going to pull up, see you have an open house, pull the sign. Okay, they're going to have their information with all the the flyer on your the price on the flyer, and they're not going to come in. You want them to come in. You're trying to connect with them. So remove those flyers. Put yours everywhere. I'm trying to think what else. You got the music. You got any questions? I'm torn also using Spacio, or I'm old school because 20 years in, we used to have sign in book, and the title companies would give these little books, and you'd have to sign in. I like them both ways, but you'll get some people that'll say, "Oh, I'm not signing that." But the way I present it is like, the seller just wants to know who's been in and out the house. So if you don't mind giving us some information, just your name, phone number, email, I don't care. So when you say I don't care, I just need to present something to my seller. They're like, "Oh, okay, it's really not for her." Well, it is for me, but whatever. So you just kind of have to work around that, because they usually will try to give you some kind of fake information. But there's nothing that you can do. You've tried your best, but once they do that, they sign in and they're walking around. I hand them flyers. Then they look around. Do you have any questions? I don't follow them around. I just I might be in one. If they go upstairs, I might stand at the bottom of the stairs. Just let me know if you have any questions. So they can know I'm in ear's length distance. And I'm trying to eavesdrop, what are their thoughts? When they come down, I do ask them, what are your thoughts about this house, so I can let the seller know, is this something that you're looking for? What are you looking for? Oh, this doesn't match what your needs. I know that there's one that's down the street. If you want, I could try to set an appointment to get you in tomorrow or something like that. Are you approved? Are you doing cash? You ask them all of that kind of stuff. And all the while, you're making mental notes. And when they leave, if you've got the correct information, put it in there, and all that goes in your CRM. Like Tim was saying, they're going to soccer. Okay, they play soccer, but so you're building a whole thing. So when you respond to them, I hope the soccer game, I hope your son won the soccer game, and then they're like, oh my gosh, they remembered that. They just want that connection, guys. And it doesn't even matter if you said your son or your daughter or whatever, just they remembered soccer. Just make some kind of a connection with them. But I do my easels. There's another gentleman, he's an agent up in the Northwest office. I think his name's Shannon Smith. I don't know if any of you know him. I used to look for his open houses. He was killing it. And not too long ago, I had a new agent come into my office, and they were inquiring about open houses. I said, wait, let me call Shannon. He doesn't even know who I am. And I'm like, I'm the sales manager at the Summerlin office, but I remember going into so many of your open houses. When's your next one? He's like, what? I've been on vacation for 2 months. I should really schedule. I was like, tell me when you schedule it, because I'm going to send all of you to go to his open house. You just got to go in. He's got this sign, it's probably this big, his face is on it, a story about him. It's just so well done. I know, I'm like, when I walk into open houses that have they've done it so well, I'm like, they killed it. But so just make it your own. I'm trying to think what else I have. You can do little boards like this where you put some information in every room, whatever you're going to do. But what I like to do also is get some pre-made boards like this that'll say Summerlin or Centennial Hills or whatever, just a little bit about the area, because generally which areas you're going to do. If you don't normally sell on the east side, you're probably not going to have a board set up. But if you're mainly marketing yourself to Summerlin and Centennial Hills, get a board made up about what parks are there and things like that, and then you can just keep it up there, and they're like, some information about Summerlin. Oh, that's great. You could just keep bringing it, but get through your head, you're gonna have probably one whole room in your house designated just to real estate, okay? Your signs, your open house, like everything. Like my husband is like, oh my God, there's just stuff everywhere. And I'm like, well, I ran out of room in that room. And then I've got my signs out in the back shed, and I'm like, I just, over 20 years, you just keep accumulating things. But again, you'll have the boards for sign-in sheets and things, and then like these are the paper copies. Tim is right. You're always going to want to fill out that first line, maybe even second line. If there's 2 of you, each of you do it in different handwriting, and then that way it looks like people have come through. Always bring some kind of Kleenex or toilet paper. And then selfie sticks. I have gloves. I have booties in here. I have mace.
I'll take the mace.
I have 2 things in mace actually. You're going to have like any flags, anything that you're gonna put up. Some people open the garage and they string these flags across the garage so that you just want to, like if they're driving, they're like, oh, what's going on there? Oh, that's the open house. Just make it known. Put it 2 signs out front, hang the sign, the strings of the banner in between. Just get creative. You can't go overboard. That's the kicker. Just do you, but then do it to 3 times better, because you want to be known. You can do like a little whiteboard with information about the house, the price or whatever. Also, I know it's kind of different, but like when you're going to do a listing, I still do flyers in my flyer box. People are like, oh, it's like I'm probably the greenest person you ever know, but I still do my paper flyers, and I choose to leave my price off the flyers. And only because why would they call you if you've given them the information? So you will just be prepared, get people that will call you and yell at you because why did you put the price on here? Well, they called me. That was the whole point, was to get them to call me, right? Yeah, they're yelling, you know what, we just changed the price. I wasn't sure what we're going to do, but I wanted to get new flyers out there. Make up some excuse. But again, if you leave that price everywhere, they're not going to call you. So when you're doing an open house, you're going to print your own flyers, and then you're going to staple your business card to it. Regardless if there's a QR code or whatever, you've got your information on the flyer, you've got your information on the business card, you've got your information on the QR code. Put your stuff everywhere. Put your business card in every bathroom in there. Like, they will grab it most of the time when you're not looking. So if you have it just by you, they're not going to grab it. So put it somewhere that they can get it later on. I'm trying to think what else.
While you're thinking real quick, I just passed around, courtesy of Tom Ferry and Stephanie Younger Group. It's just kind of a lot of what she's saying, but just a bullet point. And then also I want to pass around list reports. If you're not on list reports, or you're having a problem with list reports, please put your first name, last name, and cell number, and I'll get you registered. And then the other one is for the automated social media. If you want more information on that, first name, last name, cell number. I'll pass those around.
Hey, Tim,
Please.
you were right that Anthony's gone off of my list report, and it's asking me to pair it with a loan officer.
Yeah.
Can you do it with any loan officer?
If you want to pay half, because they're going to want to pay half. If you come through us, you don't have to pay for anything. And
I
we're
can
yours.
come through you, but now it's telling me I gotta pick somebody, so who the hell
Yeah,
do
so
I
disregard that. If you get that message, disregard that completely.
that's
And
what
reach
I'll
out to your friendly rep, whoever, Anthony, myself, whatever, we'll get you back on track.
pick? Yeah,
Yeah,
because it says, yeah.
because you might have been paired with Anthony, Anthony's account no longer exists, so now
Right.
they want you to pair with a loan
Yeah, and it
officer.
says I gotta pair with somebody in order for all my functions to work.
Yeah,
And I used to have function
yeah,
conjunction.
and we want function with you, and everybody, quite honestly.
But anyways, if you guys need assistance with your open houses, just give us a call. The sales manager, that's my job, is to sit down with you. How do I pick it? Where do I pick it? There's 3 for sale in this neighborhood. Which one's better? What do I say when I call the listing agent? You know, anything, I'm there to sit with you. Hey, where do I put my signs? I'll help walk you through that pattern. And then when you're doing your signs, I always say, okay, you set your whole open house up. Go do your signs. You're gonna put the furthest one out first, and then stop. End at your driveway, because if you start there and go, by the time you get back, you might have people waiting outside, or you've missed them.
Yes.
So start that way and come back, and then when you go to leave, you're done with your open house. Now pick them up as you go. But I always say drive it first and then know, hey, that would be a good one, that would be a good one. And, you know, you're going to look at it on a map, but sometimes, hey, that's closer than I thought, so I'll spread them out. But you always kind of want to map that out ahead of time so you know how many open house signs you need. And I know they say at the front desk 4 or 5, but if you're like, hey, I mapped it out, I need 6, any way I can get 6, most of the time they'll do that. And it's just, we only have so many, so we have to limit it for each agent. But if they're not using them, you guys can use them. We're not going to tell you no if they're there.
That's a great point, driving and thinking about, you know, where strategically they should go. Because when I did all those open houses, like, I can't tell you how many times I got like, oh, there's an open house sign, great. And I drive up a block and I'm like, wait, where'd the sign go? Did I miss
Where'd
it?
it go? Yeah.
So just be very strategic
So
about
that's why
it.
you want to put the same thing, the same color balloons, the same pinwheels, whatever you want to do. So that's what they're looking for. They're like, well, that one is the same sign, Realty one, but it doesn't have the balloon. So they're looking for whatever that you're doing there, if your name's not on it.
Where'd you get the pinwheels at?
The dollar store.
Dollar store.
At Velvet, we did it. Half of them did blow away. Not blow away, but the petals came off on some of them because we got a little. They were the bigger ones. But if the little silver ones with the different colors, those pretty much stay together.
What do you do if it's windy? I mean, it's rarely windy here, but
No, it is windy. So I chose to get the heavier signs, and then I would put a rock. I carried rocks, the big fat river rocks. I would put them in there, and I put one on each side.
Well,
But
don't tell them you're using rocks at the main desk.
no,
rocks.
no
Because
rocks.
they don't want.
Yeah, we don't want
Rock,
rocks.
we're using
But again,
rock
I use
sign.
my own
That's the
size.
only rock
I use
we
my own
got.
size.
No,
But you
they'll
can.
tell you no.
You can
scratch
use,
them. I'm like,
sandbags.
okay, they're gonna fall down.
Yeah, and so they just get those little bags at Home Depot, and then they have sand, and then you could just put them
Or
in
you
there.
buy
And
the
it's
heavy good sign and be done with it.
well, but even the good ones, they do blow over. People will steal them, guys.
Well,
Like, yeah,
did they blow over, or does somebody lay them over? I thought it was somebody
and it
being a
could,
jerk.
yeah. They've laid
Just
them
laying
over.
them
They
over.
take them and put them in their garage. They do whatever they want to do. But a lot of times it's just the wind, or it's not sit. You don't sit it flat, and then a car comes by or a big rig, and next thing you know, it just rattles it and boom, it's down. But
So I have a question, and this is, you've shared with us what we should do. You've shared with us what we should bring. You've shared with us maybe how we should market it, do all this stuff. But what happens to the mindset when you do all this stuff you think you've done perfectly, and you sit there for 3 hours and there's not a damn soul?
you know what? It's the name of the game.
Right.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
the job. Because
So-
I also, now think about it this way. When I used to do postcards, just listed, just sold. I also would send out monthly newsletters. I spent $7,000 on 7 months of newsletters. Got nothing, not one call. I sold a house and spent $150 on a just sold, and I got 3 listings. You don't know what's gonna work, and you don't know what day it's gonna work.
So my question to finish it was going to be, what would you share with the new people? Just stay the course and run with it? And
Absolutely.
don't let something like that change your mindset?
Yeah, when you're doing an open house, try to do it the same house 2 to 3 days. So you've prepared for 5 to 7 days, and then sit there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, Tuesday. Because otherwise, you got to prepare all that same stuff for another house. Some people are like, I'm going to do this one on Saturday and this one on Sunday. Well, now you just did double the amount of work. Just sit there, because you might sit there on Saturday and somebody's like, oh, I've got the soccer game, I can't make it, oh my gosh. But then somebody else is doing it the next day, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go in there, not knowing they're 2 different agents.
Right.
So you need to kind of stay consistent and try to do them at least 2 days in a row. I like to do the door knocking, and then I'll make a little flyer and I do it usually 2 days, if not the day before, and I'll put it out there that sellers are welcome from 12 to 1. Not sellers, neighbors are welcome from 12 to 1, and then the open house will be from 1 to 3. I want the neighbors in and out, because guess what? I don't want them there with anybody else coming through, because they're gonna go, oh, this is the house that somebody this then, or that busy street behind, and you're talking to somebody, and now they're out because the seller is just blowing it, not realizing that or the neighbor is blowing it with not realizing what they're saying. So I'm like, special viewing just for neighbors from this hour, come for treats. Get their treats in there, they leave, and then I replenish it for a bit. I'm not saying they can't come, but if it says just for neighbors, then they probably won't come after that. So those are things that I kind of do, and I just door knock. And
I'm not one that actually answers my door, so I understand that. So I will leave them on their garage door little thing, or when they have the number code, I'll hang it off the side because it has a split in it for the door handle. You can kind of just finagle it in there. If they have one of those little gates going up to their door, I'll hang it on the gate and I won't go to the door. But if there's no gate, I'm going to the door, and if there's a Ring doorbell, hi, I'm Wendy Schaller, I'm a realtor, we're doing an open house tomorrow. I'm just gonna put this on your doorknob, and then I walk away. Yeah, it is good to knock because then you're going to get the person, but then you're also going to get people yelling at you because their dogs are barking and they just woke up their baby, and I feel guilty. So that's just something I don't do, but I try. Again, again, but the Ring doorbell's going to ring too. So did you have a question, Lorraine?
Confirming we can have champagne.
I told him not to because I was like,
can you?
I don't know.
I've seen broker opens.
I'm sure you do, but it's a broker open, so that's kind of like
that's different.
The broker open is for agents. You're just marketing to other agents.
Okay.
Where an open house is for the general public. So I was
Okay.
like, how are you knowing if that, are you liable? Because I'm kind of like serving to a minor. I don't know. So I said, I probably wouldn't, but I like the little bunt cake thing. That
I was just curious, just so we know, or I know.
That's a broker question. I'm not a broker.
Yeah.
That's a
The
broker.
question I think I always think about too, like what if they're taking
Ray wants
medication and they
that
shouldn't
shit.
drink,
And then they
and you give them a
drive.
drink and they like run into a stop sign or
I mean, you're
run
not-
somebody over.
And you're not carding people, so it's like, what if they look? Are they teetering? You tell them no, they get offended. I'm like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
When we-
yeah.
when
Or
we
like
were-
it's not a happy hour where you only get like a little sip.
Yeah, I know that. 2 drops. I don't know.
I'm gonna
I-
text him right now.
Yeah. Any other questions? I know it went a little fast, but I like to share because I don't always get to do my open houses, but the classes. Maybe I'll do one separate on that because I'll bring out everything. But everybody does them different. So you just make it however you want to do it. If you like upbeat music or classical music or no music at all, but don't be that agent just like sitting there. It's like, come on in, like I just have to do it because my seller wants me to. Don't be like that because you're not doing any favors to your seller, and you're not doing any favors to yourself because people walk in there and because I'm like, hi, I'm Wendy, I'm a realtor. I just wanted to see what was going on in the house. He's like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, why would I hire him? Like there's so many other better agents out there, but just remember, you're there to promote yourself and your brand, so do it 10 times better than the next one.
And I still do this today, not today, but like on the weekend. Example, if I'm just, even when I've gotten done with like a mountain bike ride and I'm like dirty and sweaty or whatever, and there's an open house, I'll go pop in like, hey, sorry for the appearance, but I just got done riding. I'm with ROC Title, just wanted to check things out. How's it going? Do the same thing. Just go and check out other open houses because you
Because you never know what they
glean little goodies
have.
from
Yeah, they've got, some people have some really good ideas, and just utilize that, incorporate that into your business. But you're not gonna. Most of us don't think about it unless we see it. We're like, this would be a great idea. So, and then you can. Back in the day, they're like, yeah, shut the door if they're, they want to go see another house. Well, there's good and bad to that, safety issues. But are they even approved? Like, you're gonna miss probably somebody at your open house because you're running around trying to show somebody that, 1, you don't know, and 2, you don't even know if they're qualified. They're just like, oh yeah, take me over here. I always just say, you know what, I've already dedicated this time, so let me get your information. I'll pull the property, we'll make an appointment, and then we'll go to that next one. And then I call and say, do you have a pre-approval or do you have proof of funds? And they're requesting it to show for the showing. But people always just like, I want you right now. Well, that's not how that works. I've dedicated myself to this, and you wouldn't want me to leave if I dedicated myself to you as well. So, but I don't know if you guys need any questions. Most of you know where I'm at. I'm at the Summerlin office, Wendy Shaw, if you guys need me. Alrighty. But thanks for coming, guys, and for Tim.
Yeah, I'll be in the parking lot, some parking lot. Just text me, I'll get back to you pretty quick.
All right.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I
Thank you.
appreciate all of you and your valuable time. I was like early bird Sean
right.
back there showed up, and then there, a couple came in, Carrie came in, and then so great turnout. So very pleased about that.
Not everyone from Summit office.
Yeah, it's like a field trip.
Summerlin, just make it where this one doesn't begin at the same time the other one's ending.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like this is how we had to do it because it's our Wednesday workshop. So you guys, which offices are you guys at? You're at Summerlin. You got your own chopstick. What's your name?
Yes. And you are?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Extras?
one.
I did.
I've been there since '05.
And,
You're one of those secret agents that I never show up. But
one
we
with
have
a
to
flavor and hopefully it's not as hard.
You knocked out.
Maybe.
And I borrowed that, I thought